What I do, what I do, what I do. My name is Jerani, so today I want to talk about emotions. Emotions are meaningless things, but we give them a lot of meaning because of the reactions that they trigger within us. And what you need to understand is it's thoughts, it's your thinking about what those emotions mean to you, which actually determine how you will feel eventually. Because what you need to understand is everybody will go through uncomfortable feelings. The feelings of heartbreak, rejection, failure, all those type of things are painful emotions, painful feelings. Everybody will go through them. But it's your own thinking which will determine how you will go about those things. What do you say about yourself when you're met with those emotions? Because what a lot of people do is they break themselves down. So they get, for example, negative emotions such as one of failure, right? Or one of rejection, and it might trigger, they get failure or rejection in their life and it triggers a negative feeling. And what a lot of us will do is fight that feeling and say, no, we're not supposed to feel like this. We're supposed to be tough always. And that's the thing, right? A lot of people think too much about the feelings, what those feelings mean about themselves, because everybody goes through certain feelings, but it's actually you, right? It's you which determines, will those feelings break you down, or will you see those feelings for what they are? That's the next thing. That's the most important thing that I want to talk about today. And that is, like I've said, the feelings, bro, are meaningless. You cannot grab feelings. Only facts. One thing you need to understand is the clock always keeps ticking. There are real reasons why you might feel negative about yourself. But there comes a moment that you gotta step out of it, because I can tell you one thing, and that's a difficult thing maybe to understand, but this voice right here that you got inside of your mind, it is your own voice, right? But it's not always the voice that you need. The voice that tells you, no, you're too traumatized to do this. No, you don't have enough confidence to do this. No, you cannot do this. No, you know damn well you never achieved something. You never did well. People never liked you. And you know that voice, if you will listen to that voice for too long, it will ruin your life. Because you won't do what you need to do. You won't do what you need to do because you are too tuned in to your voice, the negative voice, right? And some people might hear voice and be like, oh, voice is just, the process going on in your mind, the thinking that you're doing. So that's that topic. And why this is important to know is because you also need to know that there's a way out, right? And that is just zooming out. A lot of times when we feel the negative emotions, they break us down. We're like, oh damn, boom, we're feeling negative, we're feeling this and that, and everything stops. It seems like we stop doing a lot of things. But what we need to realize is that it's just a process. You might think about yourself that you're a loser, or you're not able to achieve something. You might think that about yourself, but at the end of the day, that's also just it isn't real. It is not real because it's just thinking. So thinking influence our how we act, right? Everybody knows that before you will do something, you think about it before you do it, right? So thinking comes for the action, but if your thinking is negative, then it's only normal, right, for the action to be negative as well. If you think about yourself, oh, I cannot do this, your action will be one of, oh, I cannot do this. I remember, I remember that for myself in my sales days, right, when I'm on the street working, things like that. When I don't feel like making the sale, I won't make it because your thinking is already negative. So the way how you will present yourself, the way how you will act will also be negative, right? That's just normal. But same thing goes for the upside as well. When you think positive about yourself, positive actions will flow out of that. Positive actions will also lead up to new results. Keyword is new. I'm not saying immediate good results. Some people might like never approach girls, and all of a sudden they start approaching girls and they don't get the results that they want to get, because it's like, what do you expect, right? It's still something that you must connect with people, you must align with that person. So if that's not the case, then it won't work for you. But that doesn't mean that your thinking is negative, or that there's something wrong with you, or that you've done something wrong. It's just a new result, because probably if you think negative about yourself, you wouldn't go up to the girl in the first place. But now you think positive about yourself, so you do at least go up to her. And from that, you get new results. And new results, even if they lead to failure, will lead to greater things, because failure is still a result. And when you get results, you get feedback because you actually done it. It's not always about winning, because you won't win every battle, but every battle needs to be fought. Every battle needs to be started. You need to give yourself the chance to win the battle, and you can only do that by starting the battle and continuing the battle. So that's one thing that you need to understand about this, because otherwise you will always be stuck up in this chatter of negative thinking, and you will probably feel like, okay, nah, it needs to stop. I need to get out of this negative thinking, but you won't do it if you won't do it like that, right? It's something you will probably feel like, oh, why do I think so negative? It needs to change right now, immediately. But that's not how it works. You first dissect why you're thinking negative, right? You first think about why you're thinking negative, and from that, you eventually start giving yourself the chance to learn from all the feedback and the results that you get from your thinking, and your actions, of course, that follow from it. And that's, like I've said, like all the what I talked about. It's when you first start thinking positive, when you first start acting positive, it doesn't mean that your life will change today, but this is really one thing that you build. Character is one thing that's hard for a lot of people, because If you don't know the concept of consistency, then with character building, you will probably never see great results, because real powerful things, bro. So you know that real powerful things, such as you really transforming your financial life, and let's say going from making 1,000 a month to all of a sudden 10,000 of a month, right? Those things are possible, but require a lot of consistency. And if you got this mindset where you feel like if it doesn't go your way immediately, you get all stressed and you will fight with yourself, then then you will never give yourself the chance, because character building is something that takes months at least before you see the big wins. And the real big wins you will probably maybe see after 3-4 years, but that's just timelines that I'm giving, right? It depends, of course, what your goals are, but know that everything that you want takes a good amount of time. It will probably take at least, no matter what, it will probably at least take a good 3 months, right? But what option do you got, right? You can either stick with your life that you live right now, which is not having the things that you want to have, not doing the things that you want to do. You can either continue with that or change it and probably feel very uncomfortable for a couple months at least, or a couple weeks, or for a undetermined amount of time, because that's the same thing, right? We're talking about feeling good and feeling bad. It's just feeling. It doesn't mean anything. There is just, you just got goals and you want to reach them, and you need to reach them, and how you feel along the line doesn't really matter. And if you care too much about that, you won't take the action that you need to take, because you will think that, okay, it's supposed to be faster, it's supposed to be there right now, it's supposed to be here right now. But it doesn't work like that, right? It doesn't work like that. You really need to stick with your system of reaching your goals without basically caring how they will make you feel, because they probably won't make you feel good, or at least right now, right? And when they will feel you good, when it will feel good, it will probably be temporary, because problems will always arise. Even when you have your biggest dream life. I don't have millions of dollars right now, but I know that when I have millions of dollars, I will still have problems in my life. And that's normal. That's how life is, right? And that just goes for everything, right? There will always be problems, and you also need to be okay with that. There always will be problems, because otherwise you will give up on life, because you feel like problems shouldn't exist, and you will fight with reality, because reality doesn't present you with problems. Reality just presents you with cause and effect. So if you neglect your car maintenance, that will cause build up in your car, right? Your car will probably, each time, it will run a slight bit less smoothly. And if you continue to neglect it for months upon months, and eventually even years, eventually your car will break down. And when that happens, you will probably be like, oh, my car broke down, the whole world is against me, now I work at late, things like that. But it's just cause and effect. If you didn't neglect the car in the first place, then it probably wouldn't have broken down on you. Life just prevents you with cause and effect. And it's never that personal, but it's our thinking and our emotions that makes it personal. But it doesn't mean anything. And like I've said, that's one of the things that I needed to learn when working, going up to people, cold pitching them, you know, cold approaching for sales. And they, you know, you won't get the results that you want immediately from a lot of people, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just everybody got their own agenda. Not everybody is looking for what you're selling. And that's just reality, right? And that's what you need to be okay with, because otherwise you will continue to fight with the reality that is presented to you, right? So, you know, that's just this topic for today, is that be aware of what you're thinking. Know that feeling bad will happen always, and be aware that it's just your emotional reaction to the thinking and to the situations that happen in life, which make you basically a victim of them. Because there's always an upside. If you can think about negative about a situation, then why not think positive about it and try it and see what type of action comes from that. You know, that's just important to know. So with this, I'm gonna end this video. My name is Jeraini San, and I thank you for watching.